Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All right, little topic today. Katherine Legge announces that she will be running the Indy Charlotte Double in 2 weeks. That's absolutely amazing. She announced it when she was up in Indy for the Indy 500 practice. I definitely love the fact that we're going to have a driver do this. I know if you look at the history of drivers doing this, she'll be the 7th driver to do this since 1994. So this all started in 1994. We had the first ever double, which was John Andretti. And so I love the fact that she announced this. I love the fact that she's able to do this. I know there's been a lot of talk of, well, she's got qualified. Well, the entry list for the Indy 500 is out. 33 cars for 33 spots, so she's locked in. Same way for the Coke 600. There's going to be 40 cars for 40 spots. She's locked in. The 4 open cars will be obviously the 78 for BJ McLeod that Katherine Legge is driving. The 66 will be there. The 33 with Jesse Love for Richard Childress Racing, and then the 67 with Corey Heim for 2311. So yeah, so she is locked into both fields. I think when drivers do this, I think it brings eyes to both sides. Do I want to see more drivers do this? Yeah, well, we don't need a bunch every year. The most I'd like to see in a year is 2. I'd love to see an IndyCar driver do it and a NASCAR driver do it in the same season. I think that would be pretty cool. You know, like a Scott McLaughlin or Scott Dixon. And I mentioned those two. I mean, Justin Newgarden, any Alex Palou, any of them would be great. I mentioned those two, Scott McLaughlin and Scott Power, is because they both have V8 Supercar experience. So that's kind of what the Gen 7 Cup car is. The only problem is fans. And here's what I mean by that. When Cletus wants to go run a Rally Series race, everyone says, well, he's got to have 2 years of Cars Tour, he's got to have 2 years of ARCA, 2 years of trucks, and then get into O'Reilly's car. But we want guys to do the double, but we want them to do all that first, then do the double. Is that what we want? Oh, no, wait. That was only the Cletus requirements. Everybody else is cool, right? Okay. Sorry, I just had to be a smart ass there. No, I mean, if NASCAR would approve Scott McLaughlin to run a Gen 7 car at an intermediate 1.5 mile Charlotte Motor Speedway, obviously you would need some testing, you would need some practice to make sure they're okay with it. I'm all for it. I am all for it. I think that'd be awesome. Of these 6 previous drivers who have done it, John Andretti did it, like I said, in 1994. Davy Jones attempted the double in 1995, but unfortunately was unsuccessful. He did not qualify for the Coke 600, so he is one of 2 drivers to be unsuccessful on the second leg of the double. Robbie Gordon has done it 5 times, 1997, 2000, 2002, 2003, and 2004. Tony Stewart did it in 1999 and 2001. Kurt Busch did it in 2014, and Kyle Larson 2024. He did not start the Coke 600. And in 2025, he started both races. Unfortunately, DNF'd in both races. So the most successful laps completed, because everybody talks about the 1,100 laps that day. The most successful at that was Tony Stewart in 2001. He completed all 1,100 laps. He finished 6th and 3rd, respectively, that day. 2002, Robbie Gordon finished 599 laps. 1999, Tony Stewart, 596 laps. 2000, Robbie Gordon, 589. Robbie Gordon, also in 2004, 485 laps. The least amount of laps covered that day. 1997, Robbie Gordon, combined 205 laps. 2025, Kyle Larson, combined 336 laps. 1994, John Andretti, combined for 416 laps. Matter of fact, since Kyle fell at the double last year, he hasn't been himself. It's great. He hasn't won in over a year. He's still hungover from that double. Oh, it's been so great. John Andretti, 416 in 1994. Robbie Gordon, 444 in 2003. Kurt Busch, 471 in 2014. I know on some of these posts I've been reading comments, and I love the people's comment, well, she's not going to win. Well, yeah, that's true. No one's ever won both of them. She's not going to finish. Well, the vast majority don't finish on the laps. We've seen this. Just inside, just so many bad comments. And I will say this: women in motorsports has been a thing since motorsports has been around. The problem is the NASCAR fan base doesn't accept women. We've seen this with the Hailie Deegans, the Tony Breitingers. If you go back, Patty Moise, and go back to that era of drivers, NASCAR fans don't like women. Period. Women drivers. Period. And it's. I mean, they almost ran Hailie Deegan out of the sport. They, with Tony Breitinger, whatever's going on there, it's just like, why can't NASCAR fans be more like NHRA fans? When Brittany Force is out there, no one is saying she doesn't belong. No one's saying she needs to leave. No one's calling her a Nepo baby because she's driving for her dad. I mean, but unfortunately, we get in NASCAR fan base, if a driver wins because he's the grandson of a car owner, he's Nepo baby. If you're a woman, you don't belong. If you're, yeah, even in the truck series, we've experienced with a lot of the women, like Hailie and Tony Breitinger experienced this. They drove for teams where their male counterpart, who more experience, did well, won championship. Well, they're in championship equipment. Wait, they can't finish above 20 for the hell, they don't even be that right. But yet, when there's a male driver in there that is literally running the same, we don't talk about that. When Hailie drove for Tricon, Tanner Gregg, again, no one brings it up, but his granddad owned part of the team. So for you all that keep calling Ty Gibbs and Austin Dillon Nepo babies, technically the Gray brothers are Nepo babies. Then, if that's your terminology for it, why is he in the truck ride? He hasn't been that good. Matter of fact, his first year and Haley's first year, they were pretty equal. Just saying. Yeah, I don't understand why fans are like that. But anyway, we're back to the double talk here. But yeah, Katherine Legge going to be the 7th driver to make it. I know the first female. Now, best finishes through this double. Robbie Gordon, 2000. Tony Stewart, 2001. Kurt Busch, 2014, all finished 6th. Robbie Gordon, 2002, finished 8th. Tony Stewart, 1999, finished 10th. The best finishes of those drivers at Charlotte. Tony Stewart in 2001 finished 3rd. 1999, he finished 4th. 2002, Robbie Gordon finished 16th. 2003, Robbie Gordon finished 17th. And 2004, Robbie Gordon finished 20th. So the best average finishes for the doubles: Tony Stewart in 2001, a 6th and a 3rd, 4.5 average finish. Tony Stewart in 1999, a 9th and a 4th, average finish 6.5. And then 2002, Robbie Gordon, 8th and 16th, average finish 12.0. Biggest difference is Tony Stewart was a winning IRL driver before he did the double, and was a winning Cup driver when he did it. No one else had that IndyCar experience as well before they did the double. Katherine Legge, this will be her 5th Indy 500. 2012, 2013, and then 2024 and 2026. Or sorry, 2025. Is that right? Yeah, 2025. So she finished 22nd, 26th, 33rd, and 29th in her 4 previous Indy 500s. Her best oval finish in NASCAR Cup Series was Phoenix. She finished 30th. Then last fall, she finished 31st at Las Vegas. Now, do I think she's going to run over 485 laps to be 5th all-time and the most laps completed? I honestly don't think so. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just don't think the equipment she's in. She's an AJ Foyt for the IndyCar, and then she's in BJ McLeod for the Cup car. I personally think that she might get caught up in something in both races. We don't know, obviously. I don't think she's going to embarrass herself at all. I can definitely think, her, if you look at her finishes, the last 2, 33rd and 29th. So I could see her getting in the top 30 at Indy. Hopefully keeping it clean all day, not getting any crashes or anything. And I could see her doing like the 31st she did at Charlotte. I could see her finishing top 30 in both of them, to be honest with you. She has the ability to go out there and do well. She doesn't have the experience and honestly, in either or. I mean, she has IndyCar experience, but she's not been in enough IndyCar races over the past, 2-3 years to, I think, go out there and run up front. If you look at her IndyCar, so in 2020, it was 23 and 24 when she ran the Indy 500. That's the only race she ran in 23. And then in 24, she ran 6 races toward the end of the year after Indy. Iowa, Gateway, Milwaukee, and Nashville. And then this is her only start she hasn't had any starts yet this year. There for AJ Foyt with HMD Racing. They own a Indy Next Series team. So it's Henry Malukas. So he's teaming with AJ Foyt. So do I think that's Tier 1 equipment? No, it's not. But AJ Foyt Racing, let's see, AJ Foyt Enterprises has Caio Colte and Santino Ferrucci. And then they got the third car, the number 11 there with Katherine Legge. I mean, it looks like she's supposed to run 7 races the rest of the year, so that's kind of cool. Again, I think that's an added car for this race and for later races this year. So we'll see how she does. I don't think she's going to, set the world on fire, but I don't think she's going to. There's really no way to embarrass herself, I don't think. I think she's going to go out there. She's going to have decent runs. She's going to keep her nose clean, and she's going to have a good day. I just think that a lot of fans, so-called NASCAR fans, look at it, oh, a woman's doing it, oh well. I mean, I kind of hope she kind of beats Larson from last year, what he did, just to get the fans talking. I think that would be kind of cool. He completed 336 laps total last year between both. Look and see how he finished in both of them. So Larson last year finished 24th at Indy and 37th at Charlotte. I think the 24th at Indy would be a stretch for her because her best finish again is 30th. 37th at Charlotte, I think she could definitely top that. So I mean, even if she, right around 30th for both races, that's what I'm expecting. Complete more than 336 laps, we'll see what happens. But the Indy race, like if you look at last year, let me pull up the results here. Box score, 23rd completed 91 laps, 26.87. So yeah, I mean there was 3 cars that DQ last year. I did not realize that. Oh, that is crazy. So in theory, then Kyle Larson actually finished 27th because there was 3 teams that ran all the laps that were disqualified. Marcus Ericsson, Kyle Kirkwood, and Callum Latte. Pretty random. I didn't even know all that. I didn't even see all this before. Huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, yeah, she just needs to keep her nose clean. Definitely should be able to get a top 30, hopefully. Maybe or top 25 in both races. So, but all right. The announcement today, Katherine Legge doing the double Charlotte and Indy on Memorial Day weekend. Prediction going to be top 30 on both. She'll be the 7th driver ever to attempt a faith. The 13th attempt, only 10 have been successful. Kyle Larson, 2024, and Davy Jones, 1995, are the only 2 that were unsuccessful. They did not complete the Coke 600 or even start the Coke 600 in the double. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.